nice and early.
Back home, I actually have to. I struggle to see them.
Oh, really?
Like, I see them, but
not that often.
Yeah, it's not like an autumn from dusk till dawn.
Is that why I'm tired?
Yeah. They definitely like this place.
Is that why I'm woke? Oh no, I'm not. Forget. I must be programmed.
Yeah,
on the days they're not doing this, I'm not woke.
Do you know what a woman is?
Someone did tell me recently.
Oh, you don't know, so yeah, you probably are woke.
But not the days where it's clear, I know. The days that they're doing this, I don't.
All right. It's so nice here in the sun. But we're going to have to move you down here. Hi, Wanda.
I am here, I am woman.
You're funny. Rawr. Oh, hi, Donna. Hi, Donna. I just made an email today. If there's anything you want to share, I might put it up. It's TruthKnownShown at proton.me. Just thought that'd be a good thing to do.
The Ode of Remembrance. They went with songs to the battle. They were young, straight of limb, true of eye, steady and aglow. They were staunch to the end against odds uncounted. They fell with their faces to the foe. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them.
We will remember them.
lest we forget.
Samantha Mostyn, as the Government General of this unlawful occupation, this letter is a direct appeal from an ever-growing cohort of Australian people, both here and at their home. We call on you to action the public reveal of the unredacted findings in the New South Wales Police Report from the Woodrow Commission, 1995 to 1997. The Woodrow Commission, as catalogued with the New South Wales Police Integrity Commission, resulted in a 99-year suppression order containing 28 names of alleged pedophiles of prominent stature, including judges, government officials, an ex-Prime Minister, and others, frighteningly enough. That our Australian government has made no attempt to undo the 99-year suppression order for the supposed safety and well-being of the population is unacceptable. Revisited again in 2015 in the Senate Legal and Constitutional Affairs Legislation Committee meeting, the then Senator Bill Heffernan delivered the same request for the findings to be released to the public. As the Senator stated, it's not so much the secret that's the problem, it's when a group of people, such as 28 people on the police report, keep each other's secrets. Further in his appeal, he quoted the judge of the day. We decided not to revisit that issue because the public would lose confidence in the judiciary. Government General, how can you justify the 99-year suppression of the police report from the Woodrow Commission, given that the Australian people paid out roughly $70 million on the case? We have the right to full disclosure investigation, given that we paid for it. 28 pain-filled years later, we've stood each week since August 30, 2021 at Government House in Queensland, and every single day since the 7th of February 2022 here in the nation's capital. We are the real victims, family members of victims, or friends of victims, the appalling industry of child trafficking and pedophilia. We the people also require the individual honourable position of Government General to uphold the requirements of the Office of Government General and inquire why the Government General has not stepped in with the obvious police overreach in inhibiting the people peacefully protesting as is the protected right of all people. It is up to the men and women of Australia to determine their level of confidence in the police, judiciary, parliament and yourself on this matter. Yours sincerely, concerned men and women of Australia. Thank you.
Let's begin with the fact that you are exposed. When we get that the relationship we have with the Australian government is abusive, then perhaps we will no longer line up to give them our vote, which is our continued consent for them to govern over us and these lands. Perhaps we could somehow bring ourselves back from international control and ownership also. What have they done to earn our loyalties or our favour? How, what, when and why? Nothing. They do nothing that the people themselves cannot do better. Perhaps not participating in voting is the strongest message we can send to this completely broken and disempowering system. Every year it's the same messaging. Let's do this. It's our best chance. And every year it's the same results, with these moronic puppets back again, and they are always spineless, with a complete lack of ethics and morality. They do what they are told to do regardless of the consequences to the people here. They have and continue to systematically deplete people's health, finances and the environment, and at the same time doing an absolute assault on animals who are also, like us, trying to exist in peace and happiness with their families. See how they offer you so little but take so much, which is breadcrumbing. See how they future fake by offering you this, that and the other, but never actually coming through with promises, and in reality just causing more damages, more loss and more controls, which is a cumulative harm for the population. Consider some of their abuses of the past, which they have not changed their behaviour or stand on, even though they know it causes so much harm, including deaths. Consider how many lives have been lost of all ages, from the unborn to every age in between, because of their bio-warfare, which they told us we needed, and if we didn't take it, we are bad people and we should be punished. And we were. In the words of Steve, what the actual fuck? They split this nation in two, causing segregation, where some had rights and some didn't, because they didn't do what they were told. They continue to divide at every point they can, as it weakens our strength and capacity and gives them the advantage they seek, which is more power, more wealth and more control. That's all it comes down to with them. So ask yourself, why are we continuing to give them power? I am aware even me being here speaking is in a way giving them energy and time. However, my message has always been predominantly for the people, to help us remember our own power, our own boundaries, and that we do not have to consent with systems, institutions, or people that harm us. How can we re-empower and stand in our own soul's sovereignty, feeling healed, whole, healthy, and happy? We are talking about basic human rights. And as we move forward and reflect, we see more and more the government and authorities' overreach and infringement of these rights. How can it be illegal to be without a home when they themselves have made employment, housing and stability so out of reach for so many? And even that's not enough for them, they seek to punish more, because they are a dark entity themselves, which is why I cannot in good conscience place any vote with a system that is unapologetically responsible for crimes against humanity. How much and how often they spray harmful chemicals from the skies on us is another example of their abuses on our health and the environment and all species here. The sad thing is so many still don't even recognise it as abuse because of how deeply entrenched and targeted the brainwashing is. And there is now also a dependency which suits the government just fine as they siphon more. Maybe one of the biggest steps towards our re-empowerment is to move away from this system of control and abuse and step by step pave the way to something new. They will love bomb you for your vote, and then once they have what they want, they'll cut you off and treat you like you are nothing and no one, just like a true narcissist. It's all about them, it's not about us. Selfish to the core, and that is why I will not consent anymore.
G'day, Samantha. So on the weekend, we had the Forest of the Fallen. One lady went past and she was looking at our display, and I said to her, well, this is the injured from the medical experiment. And she scoffed. And she said, well, what about all the lives that were saved by the medical experiment? So I tried to inform her about the statistics from the Bureau of Stats. where suddenly all these influenza cases just vanished. Usually every year there's about 140,000 or so influenza cases, and they're cases that have been diagnosed and tested. So, you know, how many people go to the doctor with influenza? Not many. So the number of cases of influenza every year is, in the many hundreds of thousands. But they disappeared. There was less than 900 cases that year, that first year. And surprisingly, there turned out to be a whole bunch of other flu-like cases in another category. Wonder what happened there. So I tried to point that out to her, and she said, oh, well, if that's what you want to believe. And it's like, well, it's not a belief, this is the Bureau of Stats. It's their figures. So on the one hand, people are more than happy to believe that the government is there to protect them and keep them safe with medical experiments. But then on the other hand, when the stats come out, oh no, that's my belief. Interesting. So yeah, it got me thinking about belief. So we here often talk about spiritual things. And for a lot of people that can sound all wooey-fooey. But what people don't understand is that the science and spirituality actually have a massive crossover, just coming from a different perspective. So they might seem unrelated or even outside the possibility of each other, that one opposes the other. But what does the science say? So, I'm going to read out a 2007 presentation by Greg Braden. So Greg Braden is a 5 times New York best-selling author who's now an educator, a pioneer in bridging the science, social policy and human potential. He's highly regarded and he's an influential thought leader. He is a scientist, a geologist, a marine biologist, a computer systems designer. He's worked in the petroleum, computer tech and aerospace industries. So it doesn't sound particularly fooey-fooey to me. Anyway, so what did he have to say 20 years ago? If we ask the question, who are we? What we know is that we are made of quantum energy. For over 70 years, so that's now nearly 90 years, scientists have been telling us that we are little particles of quantum energy. And now we believe them. But now scientists say those little quantum particles can do miraculous things, amazing things. But the scientists say those miracles have nothing to do with your life. For example, quantum particles, we know, can exist as a physical, visible particle. That particle can also exist invisible. The particle is still there, it has just changed its form. Quantum particles can exist in one place in a moment of time. Quantum particles can exist in 2 places or many places at the same time, and they are always connected. The particles are always connected with one another. Quantum particles can communicate with themselves in the past and in the future. This is very interesting. Scientists can take a quantum particle and they know everything there is to know about this particle. They know its rotation, its plus, its minus, its charge in the present. They can take it into the future. They can change the particle now, and it changes what it had been in the past to get to now. They can change the particle in the present, and it changed the particle in the past, even though the past already happened. Very interesting. So the question is, we're made of those particles. So we can do what those particles can do? We're made of quantum particles. Are they showing us our limits, or are they showing us our possibility, our potential? Are those quantum particles that we're made of showing us limitations or possibilities? Can we do everything that those particles can do? The answer is yes, but it's based on what we believe to be true, not what we think in our minds, what we believe in our hearts. And that is a very subtle, very powerful difference. Not the mind, the heart. We're made of those particles. We are held together through a focus, a force. What is the force that holds our quantum particles together as our bodies? What is the force? It is consciousness. Consciousness is what holds these particles together. Consciousness organises the particles into our body and into this world. In 1944, the father of quantum theory, Max Planck, made this statement: "The stuff of our world does not exist the way we think it exists." Max Planck, a man who devoted his whole life to the most clear-headed science, to the study of matter, said, "I can tell you as a result of my research about the atoms this much. The way we believe it exists, what we think is matter, originates and exists only by the virtue of a force. There is a force out there that holds everything together in our bodies and in our world. We must assume this force, the existence of we must assume behind this force the existence of a conscious mind, an intelligent mind." He said, "This mind is the matrix of all matter." If you saw the movie The Matrix, the movie was based on this information. The father of quantum theory said that there is an energy, a field of energy that holds everything together, that this is not solid and we are not solid. So what he's saying is the stuff that we are made of does not exist. Belief is the code that takes that field of energy possibilities and translates that field into the reality of this world. Belief is the code that translates possibilities into the reality of this world. Here's what scientists say to us about the way this world works. Scientists are telling us now that this field of all possibilities already exists in the quantum energy, in the soup of quantum possibility. All possibilities already exist. In the quantum possibilities, you are already healed. Peace has already happened. Joy is already everywhere. All of the greatest suffering, all of the greatest peace already exists in the quantum possibilities. And here's what they say happens with you and me. With our mind, we reach into those possibilities. We imagine our healing. We imagine the peace. We imagine our perfect relationships. We imagine the abundance in our lives with our mind. And that's how we lock that possibility into place. And with our heart, we give that possible life. We give that possibility life. We breathe life into the imagine of our mind, the image of our mind, through the feeling of our heart, and make it real in our world. I want to share with you the science of how this happens. We have to understand what a belief is. We talk about belief, but what is a belief? Belief is the marriage, a union of thought and emotion. So now we have to define thought and emotion. If we look at the energy centres of the body, the chakras, they say that thought happens in the upper chakras, the throat, the third eye, and the crown chakras. This is where we imagine the quantum possibilities. The emotion happens in the creative centre, in the lower chakras, the root, sacral, and solar plexus chakras. And they say our emotions are only two: love and fear. Fear and the opposite of, love and the opposite of love, which is fear. And so when we think a thought in our mind, we fuel that thought, we give our thought life through the love or the fear that we place into the thought. And when we do that, we create a feeling. So now let's define feeling. Feeling is the union, the marriage of emotion and thought. What we think of a possibility, and our love or our fear of that thought. Sorry, didn't read that very well. The marriage of emotion and thought is what we think of a possibility, and our love or our fear of that thought. So what is the one energy centre that we have not talked about here? The heart. Feeling happens in the heart. Feeling doesn't happen in the mind. Feeling doesn't happen much in the lower centres. Feeling happens in our heart. Feeling and belief are connected. In our hearts, we have hate, sadness, joy, compassion. These are feelings. These are not emotions. To have hate, sadness, joy, compassion, we must have a thought. And then the fear or the love for that thought creates those feelings. So the feeling is the union of thought and emotion, and our belief translates the quantum possibilities that we imagine into the physical reality of our world. So we've seen over the last few years a massive fear campaign. And the only way to counteract that is with love. So whatever happens, don't go into fear. Recognise it's a game they're playing. They want you in fear. And you counteract that with love. So when you come back to the children, what's being done to the children? The fear. They feed on the fear. Those that abuse children for their own disgusting purposes. It's all about the fear. And the great thing about love is it overrides fear so easily. So what we're doing here is bringing the love back into our world. We might not be many here, but just the few of us that are here, if we're in that right frequency of love, we counteract the fear of this whole town. That's my belief. So, yeah, a lot of words there, a lot of science there. Something to think about. But Samantha, as always, we want you to take action. Bring a bit of love back into our community by counteracting that fear. Bringing love back to those children who live in fear. That's what we ask for you to do, Samantha. And I send you love, because that's the antidote. So come on, expose the 28.
Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Never got a jab, never wore a mask. 2 years go past and we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They raided the camps, done all the camps. 2 kicks out of camp, but we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They've broken the roads, broken the law, but can't break the spirit now. We're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They smashed my car and locked me up, but I'm out on bail and I'm still here. They try so hard, we try not laugh. They tow my car, the next day's back in the same car park. These cops ain't smart, I'ma make a drop this charge. Son, you watch, we take it back to the start. No D's, no titles, no trespass. Now we charge you, tables are turned. We come with the proof for all the assaults, all the abuse. Nobody gonna can't cut you loose, not lock. Yeah, who at the door? Makada, bring on the storm. Library to empty, thought we were gone, regroup and come back to the front lawn. Yeah, we're still here, still ain't got no fear. We will cry, still ain't shed no tear. The sense of it, we still here. Is that all you got? We take on you mob, we unite. You don't call the shot, sovereign's been here all along. And they're still here, yeah, they're still here. Return of the sovereign, but they never left. Yeah, they're still here, yeah, they're still here. Yeah, they're still here, the oldest civilization. It's been how many years? They're still here. Need your support for the new way this war is fought. Alawari for the law and in June income bore accords. Gotta cut out the cancer, yeah, that's what the plans are. Walk with the elders, they got the law, we got the numbers, that is the answer. Yeah, we're still here, yeah, we're still here. Never got the jab, never wore a mask. 2 years go past and we're still here. Yeah, we're still here, yeah, we're still here. They raided the camps, done all the camps. 2 kicks out of camp, but we're still here. Yeah, we're still here, yeah, we're still here. They've broken the roads, broken the law, but can't break the spirit now. We're still here, yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They smashed my car and locked me up, but I'm out on bail and I'm still here. They see us come, we see them run. Now we are one, free our daughters, free our son. Yeah, they're getting scared. Front line, you can bet I'm there. Even when we're gone, our spirit lives on. Yeah, we ain't going anywhere. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Never got a jab, never wore a mask. 2 years go past and we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They raided the camps, done all the camps. 2 kicks out of camp, but we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They've broken the roads, broken the law. I can't break the spirit now. We're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They smashed my car and locked me up, but I'm out on bail and I'm still here.
You going this way? Oh, baby.
Hi folks. How's everyone going? Oh, bit of chat on there. Hi Donna, I haven't seen you for a little bit. Oh, Nobby, you're on there. Hi Rosalie. Who else have we got? He's got lots to say. Oh, Lulu's on there. Fancy that. And Catherine, hi. And Amos and Redneck. Cool. What's your big blurb about there, Nobby? Oh, spelling ballot. Oh, about the ballots, yes. Oh, the trails. Let's see, I can zoom you up. Yesterday morning, or yesterday all day, just non-stop trails. Every single cloudy thing in the sky is a result of, you know what? Oh, sorry. Cushion you around here. Lots and lots. I'm getting a bit. How you going up there? You can see those ones, they're pretty faint. Oh yeah, everywhere. Ooh, let's get it back up here. There's the tricksters. Dropping Karen's phone everywhere. There we go. Yeah, all this voting, it's a crock of shit, isn't it? Peaceful protest. And then oh, 40,000 deaths from the influenza. Yeah, I was just, you can go on the Bureau of Stats and they've got all these reportable diseases, and interestingly influenza is a reportable disease, but of course, you know, most people don't actually get tested for influenza. Maybe the elderly do. If you end up in hospital they'll test it, but you know, if you get the flu you just stay home and get over it. So the vast majority of people don't get tested, so who knows what the actual numbers of influenza are, but obviously they would vastly outnumber the numbers of the new version of influenza that we've had recently. Oh, but it's just really bizarre when people are happy to, you know, go along with the government on all this safe and effective stuff and believe them and if everything, but yeah, this woman, she wouldn't believe that the Bureau of Stats were actual. They were, her belief was that I believed them to be so. But yeah, I didn't believe it. I know they're dodgy figures to start with, but that's what they say. Funny. Yeah. Buffering? What, the clouds are buffering? Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, got Vaughan's decision today, which probably won't take long from past experience in the Supreme Court. They just read out the actual result, go into a lot of the detail, and then you can read the considerations afterwards. So yeah, I think we're ahead of time, are we? We've still got lots of time. Yeah, I don't know if going that way will be good because they've closed down after the bridge. It's down to one lane. So maybe, yeah, 9:09. Yeah, probably. Because I think, well, I don't know, the traffic won't be as much as peak hour. Because then once you get to near the court, that roundabout's just going to be a mess. I reckon. Okay, yeah, I don't know.
Well, shall we say farewell?
To give you an update. after court. I'll have to give the guys an update after court, because I'm sure it'll go your way. So we'll get the good news out.
The hearing should have gone my way.
Well, yes. Well, this is what we're here in the Supreme Court for, to get the correct result.
Proper decision.
Yes, a considered decision, but then we've got Mossop, so anything could happen.
All right, we've got to have the right belief.
That's right. Well, the belief is, it's all written down on the paper.
Good. All right. Shall we say farewell?
See you, folks. Have a great day. Shine bright. Be love. Always.
All right. Thanks. Love you all.